In this video, I want to show you how I turned 178,717 subscribers into $7.4 million of our own products and services. So this is not including affiliate revenue, ad revenue, sponsorships, or anything like that. This is purely just our own courses, coaching programs, anything that are our own services that we're providing. So let's get into the details of this. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer video walking through each of the pieces of it. So let's get into the exact blueprint that actually turned this into multi-seven figures per year in profit. So not just a ton of top line, but most of this went straight to the bottom line. So some of the things of building a seven-figure YouTube business is this is not going to be a video that is about viral hacks or algorithm chasing, fleeting trends or vanity metrics. And it's not about unproven theories. So everything that I'm going to be saying in this video is things you've either tested, tried, failed, succeeded, one of the above. This is about leveraging YouTube to build a substantial seven-figure business, turning viewers into valuable customers, establishing YouTube as a stable, long-term customer acquisition engine. So not just randomly, but consistently a customer engine, prioritizing profitability and consistent financial growth, tested methods generate leads and converting high-ticket buyers, and a niche-specific roadmap for consistent results. A couple things I want to highlight here is prioritizing profitability. And this is the single biggest reason why YouTube was so good to us for so many years and still is, and why for our clients, it makes the biggest difference in the world because it is a profit center for everything, not just another thing to add to the top line. So let's keep going. Committed to becoming an authority regardless of view count. And this is a really, really important thing to think about as we go. Just remember this phrase is like, it's about being an authority in your niche, no matter how many views you're getting. So the authority first mindset, our day one decision. We decided from day one that we were going to be the number one authority in our niche. So we were in the SEO, blogging, kind of affiliate marketing meets these worlds. And we decided that we were going to be the biggest possible authority in that niche, no matter what. So that was kind of the initial onset. Like, why even try? And it's not about meaning number one authority. It doesn't mean we're the biggest subscriber, get the most views, have the many years doing it, all that stuff. That wasn't what we meant by authority. By authority, we meant that we would be the most trusted, the most respected, the most valued, and the best business in that niche. So didn't know how to establish what the niche was. We weren't trying to be the biggest channel. We're trying to be the most authoritative one. So why authority beats volume? And this is a very easy concept to understand looking back. So it's why I'm making it for everyone watching this now is it creates trust, and in trust creates buyers. It's this flow. When you get trust from a viewer, then they become a raving fan, then they become a buyer. And it sounds so simple, but I find a lot of the strategies in the info coaching, this entire world, is they're so focused on tactics, what's working right now, what you could do better, and all these things that intuitively make sense. And yeah, there's like optimizing involved for sure, but there's nothing like just building trust, making that person and turning them into a fan of you as a person and what you're doing. And then also then turning them into a buyer very organically and very naturally. So this is why it always wins. When you position yourself as a go-to expert, you attract people who are ready to invest in solutions, not just casual browsers looking for entertainment. The fundamental shift in mindset changes everything about how you create content. How I'm making this video right now. So there's preparation of this video, but it's a lot of it is just my personality, me talking to you, me going off script, me not even having a verbatim script. There's so many things that are baked into creating authority and trust that is so powerful in YouTube that I've yet to really see replicated across Instagram, TikTok, anything else. It's pretty unique to YouTube in and of itself. First major thing we nailed here and what made this really, really profitable really quickly, which we'll get into timelines here later on, is what I call offer avatar alignment. And this is kind of the secret weapon. So we focus exclusively on creating content for one specific person. For our business, we call her Nancy from Nebraska. That was kind of the name we gave her. Our ideal persona. If we made content for her, it didn't matter if we got 500 views, 5,000, 50,000, it made no difference. We knew that that was going to turn into buyers. That was 100% fact to all the videos we made, everything we tried, tested. This was always the thing that stood out. So know your Nancy. Create a detailed avatar of your ideal buyer, give them a name, understand their problems and their objections. Every video should speak directly to this person. If your video is not speaking to this person, why are you making the video? So this video right now is for someone who's an info business owner, coach, consultant, who's in like, they're kind of in the, maybe they're doing 10 to 20K a month. You could be doing 100, 200, 300K or more, and you want to get specific advice to get organic growth for your business through YouTube. If that's not you though, I'm not making a video for you. If you're here to get the best thumbnail tricks, the best trends, the best whatever, I'm not the guy for that. We're not the company for that. We're not here to help with that angle of anything to do with YouTube. That's a different part of YouTube that I do not partake in. That is not what we do for our clients. It's not what I've done. And it's not been my experience. So this is, I could belabor this home because every time I see anyone stray away from this to try to get more views, they wonder why they're not getting more views, B, their channel starts going downhill and their subscribers and fans can feel it. Their audience is like, this trust is slipping through their fingertips. And this happens far too often. Quality over quantity. One qualified lead who's perfectly aligned with your offer is worth more than 10,000 views from people who will never buy. This is why offer avatar alignment is that all that matters. So it's the revenue focused roadmap here for YouTube. This is like the thing that I spend all of my time thinking about. And this is what we did for years. Part of it subconsciously, but then it became very conscious, was trying to only make videos for this person. Your niche is bigger than you think. You'll be pleasantly surprised at how large your niche actually is once you start making consistent content. We always think the grass is greener in some other niche, but in reality, dominating your specific niche is the path to serious growth. Every single niche is not oversaturated. Every single niche has an opportunity for you to be unique in how you present, who you speak to, how you help them, what you say, whatever. There's always enough blue ocean in every red ocean. And people that disagree with that just don't understand how big the world is and how many people there are to sell to, and how many prospects there are for your specific offer. You need to understand that when you're making content, that you going more specific and speaking to this persona is the most important thing. So I want somebody long-term commitment here and what authority really means. When I say being committed to becoming an authority, that means you're going to make content for 3 to 6 months at a minimum without seeing a crazy uptick in views, subscribers, or even a large amount of leads that turn into revenue. You will see some, but you may not see a landslide. You could, but you may not always, and you have to be committed regardless. So this is the filter that separates people who build real businesses for people who chase trends. You'll see people that build TikTok pages, they try this business, this marketing strategy, this type of ad, this type of funnel, whatever. The people that win, and the way we were able to make millions of dollars consistently year over year, was by being consistent to the fundamentals. That's it. We just did more of what's working. We didn't worry about trends. We didn't worry about getting caught up in what somebody else was doing. We're focused on what we were doing, what we knew worked for us and our business, and what was good for our clients and customers, period. If you do that, that is how you're able to create the right content and you don't get stuck in the middle here. It's compounding asset. You want to treat YouTube as a compounding asset, not just a pay-to-play marketing strategy. It's not ads. That means you need to think longer term and make longer term decisions with how you show up in your content. It's not about making a video that's going to be just an ad you can turn on and off, or just a reel that someone's going to watch once or twice. These videos are going to be living for a long, long time. They're going to represent your brand and you for a long, long time. So how do you want to show up? So for example, like I'm filming this video here, nothing too crazy, just a light, a camera, good audio, but I didn't just flip on the camera. Like there is preparation. Like you don't have to have fancy studio, but you have to be prepared of what you're going to say. The video needs to be valuable. The content needs to actually, have something to be worth watching, for lack of a better term. Every video you publish is working for you 24/7, building authority, attracting leads, and establishing trust. But compounding takes time. The channels that win are the ones that stick around long enough for the compounding to kick in. The magic happens between months 3 and 6. It could be a little quicker, it could take a little longer, but typically it's what I find. Most people quit before they get there. Don't be most people. That's simple. So educational over entertainment. This is big because if you are in the entertainment trap here, it is a tough place to get out of. So this might appear obvious, but our focus is strictly to make educational content. It probably is for you too. Like if you are any type of coach, consultant, info business, and you sell any type of information or coaching, it's going to be educational. And the moment you start to get too entertaining is the moment that all things start to go sideways. So the more entertaining you are, the more views you get. And when you get more views, you think it's a sign to make more content like this, but views don't equal revenue. I know this is obvious, but I see too many people do this, that they like, oh, my channel's not getting enough views. I want to get more leads and customers from the channel. So I'm going to make different videos that aren't attracting necessarily the right buyers. We're getting more views. Then they get 2, 3, 4 months down the road and they've made tons of videos, got tons of views, got tons of new people on their channel. Their channel is going down the wrong algorithm within YouTube. They're getting the wrong people to watch their content, and they're wondering why sales have actually slowed down, not stayed the same or gone up a little bit. They've actually started to decrease. This is why. The truth is this: there's nothing wrong with being entertaining as long as the core of the video is focused on educating the viewer to help them solve a very specific problem. So I'm not trying to be overly entertaining. I'm just being myself. I'm very blunt. I'll swear a bunch. There's a lot of details like in a video that I'll do that are just kind of natural. Like I'm not, my preparedness here is in the presentation, not in my script. There's a teleprompter in front of this, it's just the camera. So you need to make sure that you're being authentic, and that word can be broken down into a lot of things, but you need to make sure you're just delivering everything as you would normally, and education being the main part of the video. The result. This is the key factor that turns someone from a viewer into a raving fan. Education builds trust. Trust drives sales. You must get them to trust you by your information and the solutions that you're providing to their problems if you want them to become a buyer. And where everyone watches this video, whether there's 500, 1,000, 100, doesn't make no difference. You're focused on turning viewers into buyers. You got to bridge that gap with trust and making them a raving fan. This is where the magic happens. This is where all the difference is. So when education works and when it doesn't. Educational content only works if your goal is to sell more information, coaching, consulting, or services. If your goal is to build a large brand, be famous, or sell very low ticket physical products, entertainment is the way to go. So if you somehow found this video, or that's what you're thinking, maybe I want to be famous. Maybe actually I'm the niche guy over here, but I actually want to be famous for maybe entrepreneurship or something in fitness or something totally different. That's fine. Then you definitely want to focus on being more entertaining and educational, because the entertainment path and the just generalized content, whether it's business focused or health or relationships, doesn't matter. That is stuff that will generally get more views, but always be less efficient at converting buyers, always without fail. But if you watch this video, you're likely there's a 100% chance, unless this video somehow got 15,000 views out of nowhere from a different audience. Everyone here is looking for one specific thing. So develop a system. We developed a system for creating consistent educational content that didn't take extra mental bandwidth to create. We had a very specific formula, which for us is creating slideshows like this one and doing screenshot tutorials sort of like this around different topics in our niche. This is what Adam and I were able to predict or perfect really well, because it was a way for us to showcase our expertise without it getting too boring, and also wasn't scripted. So when a fully scripted long form video, whether it's a course video, YouTube video, whatever, it's very hard to digest and it's very tough to learn from, because there's so much like packed in to every word they're saying. And a lot of times when you have a video that's unscripted or just formatted or outlined well, it comes across as A, more natural, but B, it's more relatable to the viewer and they can actually learn quite a bit better. Make it repeatable. This is very repeatable for us to follow. We never were guessing how to make a video or what the video would look like in terms of the packaging of the thumbnail to the title to the hook. We already knew. I started this video right into the title slide, then right into the video. The hook is the video. The hook is there. We know how to package it. This is going to be something around like what you see here is going to be the packaging of this video. So likely me wearing this shirt with this background with this kind of setup is going to be the packaging, and the title is basically the title of the video is what the first slide was. So it was consistent. That way we could do this over and over again and not be guessing what we were going to do. Maintain consistency. Because of number two, we were able to create 2 to 3 videos per week for years, and we knew how to get the right leads and turn them into raving fans and then buyers. We did this for years and years and years, and still to this day this happens. So this is the cadence of this, is because we have a system that's repeatable, we can do it consistently, and then it makes the whole thing work for not just a month, but weeks, months, and years. So next thing I want to transition to is talking about moving the free line. So moving the free line is what the hell is this? What is the free line? This is a pretty interesting concept of what is this line. So there's an old school concept in marketing called moving the free line. I know 2 people who talk about this in depth. One is Eben Pagan and the other is Craig Clemens. So a little bit of they've been in space for 25 to 30 years, for 30 years probably for Eben Pagan and probably 20ish for Craig Clemens. And both these guys are incredibly successful. Craig Clemens runs a multi 9-figure kind of agency, I guess we'll call it an agency, and a media company mostly. And Eben Pagan's been a legendary marketer. He was behind the famous product called Double Your Dating, which is like an old ebook for like a pickup artist ebook from like 20 years ago. Really, really successful marketers. And they had this concept that they've always talked about, and it's stuck in my head, which is why I brought this up. When you move the free line, you're making your free content better than everyone else's paid content. You're literally making your free stuff on YouTube, your free videos, your free everything, better than your competitors' paid stuff. That is what builds trust. That is the quickest way to take someone from a viewer to a raving fan. That threshold is crossed so quickly when you do that. So YouTube is the perfect platform for this strategy because it allows you to create in-depth, valuable content that showcases your expertise better than any other social platform. The long form nature of YouTube, like I'm in now like 15, 20 minutes in here, the long form nature is different than anything else it's different than Instagram, TikTok, whatever. This means you have you can truly move the free line in ways that are impossible with short form platforms. This isn't about giving away your secrets, by building trust at scale. You're not giving away all the implementation. You're not doing every little thing for them. What you're doing is showing you are an expert, you have value, come watch me, then you trust me, you'll buy from me when it's the right time. So moving the free line is all about making your free content on social media as valuable as humanly possible. More specifically, how can you make your free stuff multitudes better than everyone else's paid stuff that you're competing against? This single strategy right here is what was the complete game changer for our entire business. We were creating 1 to 2 hour tutorials, so literally a 2-hour video on very specific topic around SEO, blogging, that were longer than some of our competitors' paid courses. Not kidding. We have more value on our YouTube channel back catalog than most of our competitors had in their entire paid programs they'd done combined. And this worked like magic. This was how we got the most amount of raving fans, but the most amount of authority. And it was no extra time. That's the thing. It wasn't harder to do. It was actually easier because we had a system that was repeatable that we could follow on a weekly basis. This way, we got way better viewers. We spent way less time and we had way more predictability in the views we were going to get, the leads we were going to get, and the revenue we're going to have week in and week out, month in and month out from organic. So don't be afraid to give your best. It still blows me away when I hear info business owners, coaches, consultants be afraid to put out their best stuff for free. This is the most outdated way of approaching marketing I've ever seen now. It's like, why make your customers and clients have to pay for every nook and cranny of information you've learned? Give it away for free. And what they're paying for is the implementation or the structure. So if it's a coaching offer, they're paying for implementation and accountability, period. If it's a course, they're paying for the structure, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. They're paying for the order. They could find in YouTube and podcasts and hack together with ChatGPT all the stuff you have A to Z, but it won't be in the right order. They're going to be out of the alphabet. That's what they're paying you for. So don't forget that when you're making content. This is why the free line, you just move it infinitely because they're never going to be able to get that implementation or the structure from just videos put together. Trust is the currency. What matters is building trust with that prospect. And how else are you going to build trust with them if you don't give them value for free first? When you say it out loud, it pretty much becomes a no-brainer. You have to give away your stuff for free to get them to trust you. There's literally no other way online to get this to happen. This is why you see super long form podcasts win. This is why you see long form YouTube win. This is why you see people give away free books or like the Hormozy strategy of like the 99-cent books and stuff. It's like, there's a method in this madness. It's not just random. And it's because they're trying to build trust so they can have an audience when they can sell to later more valuable things, not less valuable. That's the key. Building trust with the free stuff and the cheap stuff to sell more expensive and more valuable stuff later. So it's break the scarcity mindset. But the issue with that is that we live in scarcity mindset and aren't giving things away for free because we spend our hard-earned time, money, experience, failures, pitfalls, all this shit. Then the issue is that you feel like I can't give it away because I earned this. No, you were given the gift of getting that failure, experience, whatever. Then now you, in return, give it to your audience, give it to your potential prospects, give it to your potential customers. Then they build trust with you, then they buy from you. So in that order, that's when you just get out of this mindset of like, but I spent all this time. It's like, who cares? Give it away. Doesn't matter. The information is not important. What is important is the implementation of the information. It's the order of which they execute on the steps. So if they're not doing that, it doesn't matter. It's just videos. So let me show you some real examples that can make this more sense. So complete tutorials are a big way to do this. Instead of teasing concept, we created step-by-step tutorials that someone could follow from start to finish. And like if you want the rest, if you want the rest, buy the course kind of thing. One, like a full hour video, like could be a key, like for ours, a good example would have been how to do keyword research step by step. We would literally do like a 90-minute to 2-hour video outlining exactly how we do keyword research for our blog. And we would do that just like, okay, that's the video. That could also, we could have charged hundreds or thousands of dollars for this single video. We could have given this to clients. We could have all sorts of stuff with it. But instead, we gave it to our YouTube audience for free so they could get tons of value and learn. And then they were ready to take the even further step, which is buy more premium content from us. So we use real examples. We showcase real examples, real case studies, real data, real results, not just theory or high-level concepts. So people could see exactly what worked and why it works. Like we would show step by step of like, we did this, got this result. Did this, got this result. Did this, got this, you get the point. But this flow is what we took for a lot of the videos, and it allowed us to create like actual data-driven case studies to show like, here's our keyword research video. Here's the keywords we actually found. Here's what we did. Here's how they ranked. Here's how much money they made. And we would show this process in the videos because it would be just real. It would feel authentic. It wouldn't just be this like, oh, it's like just a polished edit. It was like a really long form, in-depth video showing exactly what we did and the time to do it. So that helped a lot. Other tools and templates. So we gave away free templates, frameworks, and systems that our competitors charge for. This positioned us in the obvious choice that people were ready to invest for deeper support. So whether it was like a AI prompts, or it could have been different frameworks or checklists or all sorts of things, we would just give these all away for free in the video. Like literally just click the link down below. Sometimes they were just not even opt-ins, just like click down, grab it. Sometimes there were opt-ins to get leads. But either way, every time we did this, our competitors were just focused on selling these things. We're just giving them away every time. So the counterintuitive truth, the more you give away, the more people want to buy from you because they trust that if your free content is so good, your paid content must be incredible. Like this idea, like when you understand that they're just becoming fans of you, period. So they become fans of you, they're more willing to buy from you now and in the future. So why YouTube is the absolute best platform for this. One thing I want to point out is that strategy works both on YouTube. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. It could be dating, finance, business, a hobby. It makes no fucking difference. The real thing that stands out here is that YouTube is the best place to visually and audibly showcase your expertise in a public forum that people trust. Why are so many info business owners, coaches, consultants coming to people like me, coming to YouTube to get on it because they can showcase it in a public forum that people trust. Because right now, trust is an all-time low in info. It's been like at an all-time low at a different time. Now it's just at a different all-time low. This has happened before. It'll happen again. And the key thing is that in a public forum, people feel validated. They feel like, oh yeah, like I thought this guy was legit or this girl was legit. Now I see people engaging with the videos. I see what they're like. I see how they present. I see their personality. They're like, this makes sense. I'm going to buy from this person. I trust this person. And this is so common. So that's what I just want to understand. Like, this is what makes it the best place to do this. Again, it's visual, audio, long form, and built-in trust right away. This is the place to be. All social media posts and short form content. YouTube allows you to build deep relationship with your audience. 30-minute tutorial, like now we're like 30, soon to be 30 minutes in, and builds a way deeper level of trust in 30 seconds ever could. You're spending, someone to watch this video, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60 hours. They're spending so much time with me. How could they not trust me after a while? How could they not be interested in what I have to sell or what I can help them with after spending this much time? Next, let's talk about doubling down on what works. So there's no cookie cutter formula, period. One unique thing I've learned over the years through building this business is you need to double down on what works for your channel and your business. There truly isn't a cookie cutter solution that works for growing your channel in order for it to drive revenue. There are some cookie cutter things that can just like grow channels in general, but they're not going to grow your channel in a way that drives revenue for your business. So it's always unique. And this is what made YouTube so fascinating. Like why it was tough for us over the years to like put it into a course. So I don't sell a course on this. It doesn't make sense because the only way that you're able to grow a channel that grows your business is you test it yourself. You make your own, there's frameworks that I have and I use with clients, but you need to have a way where you can test what works for you and then try it again and then again. And then once you have that formula worked out, that's what you double down on. So tactics versus strategy. Sure, there's very specific tactics to get more views, subscribers, likes, but tactics don't drive revenue, strategy does. So that's why I like the number one thing we focus on is like the strategic foundation is the first phase of any work we do, because you have to get the foundation dialed in from A to Z of the whole business to make this work. Every channel is unique. From our channel is different. Our clients' channels we work with, they're always unique in their own way. What works for one won't work for another. Like we used to try for the Adam Enfer channel, we used to try and copy a lot of the viral videos in our niche, whether it was like the passive income ideas or starting this kind of business or business ideas or whatever the like trendy video topic where you get the most amount of views. Those never worked for our channel. And I was like, why did these never work for us? I used to wonder this for all the time. We do these videos, spend a bunch of time on them, and I was like, they're never getting any views. Like they're getting the normal views and people don't even like them. And I was like, oh, our audience, our algorithm, our ideal buyers, and our Nancy doesn't give a shit. She doesn't want those videos at all. She wants something totally fucking different. And we were trying to feed her these videos of like passive income ideas about a bunch of like random stuff like Etsy and drop shipping and whatever. She didn't care. And that's why like they didn't get views from our core audience. YouTube didn't push them to anyone else like them because why would they? They're not interested. So it's like create this weird loop, and I never understood it till connecting the dots looking back. And this is key. So stop copying. This is why you can't just copy other channels, videos, and expect them to work the same as your channel. Like I just said, tried it a ton. It's never worked out. Like literally even copying titles and copying structures, it never works. Like you never build, it works is the biggest thing here. You may get views, but no one will care. You won't get more views. You could get more views, but you won't get more trust. You won't get more people interested in your stuff. You won't get all the stuff that you actually need for your business. You're not going to get by copying someone else's shit. It just never works. So audience alignment. Took me what felt like a lifetime to figure out did those videos work for them, because that's what their audience, fans, and customers want to see. When we tried to copy and imitate them, we got no better results and sometimes even worse results. So that kind of just reiterates the point I just said. And this happens so fucking often. I have to be like super blunt about this, because every time this happens, we try to do this. And every time I see a client do this, every time I see anybody do this, it ends up in the same place as it always does. They're left wondering, I thought based off all the metrics, this would work. Why didn't it work? That's why. Ads are no different. I did the script like this, the target like this, but it didn't work. It's not that simple. There's more to it than that. You have to have unique personality. You have the people that trust you. You have to have, there's a whole flow of things that need to happen in order to get the end result that you want. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing and start paying attention to what is actually working out for you in your specific channel and business, period, full stop. So what we're doing where it's working. This is I actually got this from Noah Kagan. So he's the founder of AppSumo, our co-founder or founder. And he said this quote in 2016. I was at an event with him, and it was like, it felt so simple to me. And it felt so obvious at the time. It just like stuck in my brain. I was probably, I was like 11, I was like 20 years old. 2021 maybe. And I remember hearing this and it was just like a light bulb went off of like, yeah, that is it. Just do that in business and you'll be fine. The key is, how do you find what's working? And that's the hardest part. Once you get something that is working, do not get shiny object syndrome. Don't be looking at what's next. Look at what you have right now. Look at what's working right now. What's good today? What's good this quarter? And keep doing more of that. You have to improve on that, but don't stop doing it. So ring shoot every corner for YouTube. You need to make videos that work for your channel, that builds your audience of raving fans, and gets you high ticket buyers for your business, period. If you start straying away from this and start trying to copy, and we all do this, I catch myself doing this shit and everyone else does. You need to stay focused on what's working for you, your audience, your fans, and your business. Everything else is just noise. Everything else there to just distract you and take you away from the main thing. Identify your winner. So you need to look at your analytics, not just your YouTube analytics. That's like the secondary one. Which videos brought in leads? Which videos resulted in sales? And are those winners, whatever the winners are, make more of the winners all the time, every day. Ignore vanity metrics. So a video with 50,000 views that brings in 0 customers is worthless. A video with 1,000 views that brings in high ticket clients is gold. Know the difference. It's not always easy to spot in the beginning. There's tracking that can be done, which is very, very effective. But you need to understand that even if you get that pop of views, it doesn't always matter. You need to make sure you're tracking what videos actually bring in sales. So resist shiny object syndrome like the plague. New trends will always emerge. New platforms will always launch. But if YouTube is working for your business, double down on it instead of chasing the next thing. That could be chasing the next type of video, the next platform, the next whatever. Don't chase, stay put. So here's our results of doubling down. When we truly started focusing on this methodology, within 6 months, we were able to take our business from 20K per month in profit to over 250K per month in profit by just doing more of what's working. So literally the starting point was 20K. I remember this. This was in like January or February timeframe a few years ago. And I remember when we started, it was like, okay, this is for things are working. Like it's all relative. So this felt like $1 million at the time. Like, wow, we got it to work. Holy shit. And now that felt like nothing pretty quickly. But within 6 months, we blinked and it was at 250,000 a month in profit. So not top line, that was take home. And we had to split that. I mean, out of split that. But I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Like that was a very quick ramp up. I was like, what happened here? And how did we were able to get 12 and a half times growth in monthly profit from just doing the videos? Like I said earlier, because it's a compounding asset. It's not just a thing you do once or twice. Every video is literally selling for you 24/7, 365. It's out there in the world for everyone to see, building trust, building a fan, making a sale, getting a view, it's doing all of that. And it's like, it's impossible to beat at scale. Yeah, there's a place for all other marketing, but to get these kind of results, like blew my fucking mind of how quickly it can happen if you do it right. So making more of the videos that brought in customers, no, not the ones that got the most views, the ones that actually resulted in sales, conversions, and closed deals. This was the #1 thing that got us here. Doing the thumbnails in the way that worked. We found a thumbnail style that our audience responded to, and we stuck with it instead of constantly experimenting. We experimented a little bit, but we always made sure to stay true to what worked for us. Editing the videos in a way that worked. We developed an editing style to match our audience preferences, and we doubled down on it. We didn't try to reinvent the wheel every time. We focused on what worked for our audience, because if there was a group this big, there's other people like them thinking more and more and more. We knew that if we just kept finding them by doing more of the same, we would get to them. And we did. Titling the videos in a way that worked. We identified the title formats and that attracted our ideal buyers and used them repeatedly. All this stuff is super basic and very foundational, but it's what moved the needle for us in a big, big way. This isn't a secret. The secret is doing the basics. The secret is in the fundamentals. The secret is doing things you're boring every day. Like me filming this video, there's nothing inherently, I'm sitting in a dark apartment by myself filming a video. There's nothing inherently exciting about this. But I know that in 6 months, having 50 videos like this, 60 videos like this of different kinds and different levels of shooting like this, different areas, etc., is going to make a massive difference. So doing the boring work now and figuring out what's working is always the way to go. Remember, 178K subscribers generate $7.4 million because we're focused on driving revenue, not getting views. We at one point in time for the channel, if we take out short form views, we've driven more revenue from our channel than we do have long form views in total. And we're in a relatively small niche. So I just want to give them for context of like, you could be in a much bigger niche with a lot more customers, or you could be in a more higher ticket niche or a more valuable one, or whatever the case is. There's so much opportunity out there. I don't want you to lose sight of that of like, well, I'm not going to get as many views as that guy. That's fine. You don't need to. You need to get as many views as you need to get for your business to get your business to grow to where you want it to be. And this is like, we're living proof of this, and I've seen this happen so many times inside of our example. So here's an offer to you. If you want myself and your team to help you get results like this in your business, hit the link in the description box below to apply to work with us. This is a very, very premium offer. It's a very custom offer. So if you're interested in that, great. Hit the link down below to apply. If not, subscribe to the channel. But this is a key thing I want to talk about in all the videos. Like when you are going to make a video and you're going to spend 20, 30, 40, an hour, 2 hours making a video, if someone's here to the end, they're interested for sure. They're maybe not ready to buy right now, but at some point they will be, or maybe they're ready to go today, tomorrow, in a week, a year, whatever. So always make an offer, but make sure that you've given it value before. So I've basically given 30+ minutes of value of how we've turned YouTube into a massive profit and revenue driver for our business for years. And I try to illustrate that in the most real, authentic way I possibly could. So that is just my little setup for this video. If you are an info business owner, coach, or consultant, and you're doing 10, 20K per month right now, and you're looking to actually implement this system into your business, apply down below. And if that's not you, I'll see you in the next video.